Starting out a little different here because I didn't set the live feed. I actually wasn't going to do a live feed. I was going to hold off. Maybe do it tomorrow. But I guess we'll keep the streak going. This is episode 100. Oh, there is people here. 101. So we've done this. Getting close to 2 years straight again. I think we did it 2 years straight for just our regular live feeds, and then I ran out of tips and tricks, so we switched it up. What's going on? It is very cold here. I don't know about you guys, but we're very cold. Thoughts on August Haneke and his work and everything? I think straight, he's just OG. So no matter what you think of him, like personally, if you do this, like, you can't not respect it. He kind of laid down the paved the road basically to do this for a lot of us who make videos like that. But yeah, and he's kind of not as much here now, but like, he keeps his finger on the pulse. So what up, Dan? What's up, Ground Pounder? Yeah, I was gonna hold off, but yeah, I wasn't really doing anything. I need to kill a little bit of time anyway, so yeah. I mean, I did my notes like I normally do. It's just I was gonna hold off, but made it this week. Right on. Cool. Yeah, so I guess we'll just do a normal episode now. I think we've been on here long enough that we've kind of at least got it started. So this is your weekly violations, episode 101. As always, have to shout out my members. That is where all my content basically goes for the most part nowadays, is over there. It isn't monetized. It has no ads, so you can watch it ad-free. And yeah, I'm gonna get something else for the members too going on. I'm just working on a few things right now. I'm kind of all spaced out, so yeah, let me shout out these people. These are the members, and basically a lot of them are just buddies. So it's like, I appreciate anybody who does this, because I've done YouTube for over a decade. I haven't made a penny. It's like, it's just does nothing but like end up costing me money. So the members definitely have gotten it to where I I only have a small number of members, but it's already better for me to just put my stuff on there than it is to put it on YouTube for everyone and monetize it and let them put ads all over the top of my stuff. And so I like being able to put my stuff up and I don't have to monetize it. It doesn't have no ads in it. So yeah, shout out to these people. That's In the Trees, William Moxie, Low Impact Forestry and Tree, Ground Pounder, J306, Super Shay, 5 Chris 5, James R, Buck Sauls, Buckwheat, Guilty of Treason, Veterans Tree Service, Birch Leaf, DJ Leslie, Dano Tree Works, and I apologize. There's a couple people in there I think that aren't members anymore, but I can't really. It doesn't like tell me. I mean, I don't even go check. But a couple of them people maybe I shouldn't shout out, but they were members at one point, so it is like I appreciate the fact that they were. Tree Mugs is also Educated Climber. Patrick, he's also a member, so shout out to him. I think I forgot to shout him out for like the past 3 or 4 weeks. I feel like a jerk. I know what the number says, and then I start looking on here, and I haven't figured out how to take the ones off that aren't here anymore. But yeah, and you're not obligated on the memberships. You can just be a member for a month or something. I think maybe it's a month, and if you don't like it, you can cancel. So it is cold, cold, cold here. It is just cold. So yeah, thank you to all those who are part of the memberships. Let's start out episode 101. PSAs. What up, Bad for you? John, what's up, brother? Zach, is that Zach there? It's currently 30 degrees, 6 inches. Oh, yeah. See, we had a good dusting of snow early this morning, and then it's just raining, which Missouri is so bad for. You get sleet and all the stupid stuff. So we're not dealing with a whole lot of rain or of snow yet. So we'll see. I'm hoping it chills out. My daughter's got to make her way back to college, so I hate that she would have to make that drive when it's nasty. So fingers crossed it doesn't get too cold around here, and the roads don't get dangerous, because she's got to like go pick her friend up at the airport. And I don't know. Kids are crazy. All right, PSAs for the week. Ooh. Timber Slasher. Ah, sweet, man. Sick. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that big time. I really, really appreciate that. So Timber Slasher is now one of the members. Dude, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've been able to catalog a little bit of a library now on the memberships, which is nice for anybody that is joining now, because big thank you to everybody that's been there at the early stages, because I didn't really have anything special for you guys. I was working on it. I was trying to put the stuff out, and some of you guys joined right at the get-go and had no reason to. So thank you. Thank you to everybody. And Timber Slashers, welcome. Thank you. PSA for this week. Let's get into it. Oh, what up? Super Shay just slid in here. Yeah. I had to like start it. I didn't do it early and link it like I always do. I was gonna skip it. I got lazy for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I was like, dude, get out there, because it's cold. I'm a little bit of a sissy at times. It's just after I'm cold, and I'm kind of super young but kind of old at the same time. You know what I mean? So I don't like it much. All right. PSA. Number one. We have our typical ones, which will probably be this way for life. And, you know, that's, like right now it's freezing cold. You see kitten mittens on me? No. The men don't. We just, we have calluses. And, yeah. And battery powered chainsaws, we got to stop that. We can't be doing that. Yeah. So those are our normals that, you know, are always there. But, okay, this is starting to become a bit of a problem in the industry that I'm seeing. And it's important, but we got to stop buying these stupid expensive boots that are meant for pruning and competition climbing and trying to wear them with spikes. But I don't know. Maybe some of them are a little better than others. But like guys go buy these Arb Pros or whatever, Ergo, whatever things. And it's a freaking hiking boot that doesn't have a heel. And then they just flop around when you're wearing your spike. It doesn't attach to the boot. It's not a boot. It's not a boot. So stop trying to pretend like these weird shoes are as good as like a legit boot. Like a boot, okay? They may be awesome. Okay, I want to be clear. Doing spikeless stuff, pruning, it's awesome. It's awesome. You know, not having that heel to catch on stuff when you're trying to limb walk and stuff like that, good. Different kinds of treads and stuff. But the way a logging boot works, the spike sets up against that heel, and that's where you develop the stability at. And these boots, these newer boots that everybody keeps buying, they don't. And why? Hey, we can tone the color down a little bit. They don't have to look like an emergency cone. They don't always have to look like an emergency cone. They could just be like a normal color, okay? Whoever's making these things, they don't need to stick out like crazy. What if you have big feet already? I'm not trying to draw no more attention to my feet. So stop doing it. Don't try to convince me that you wore them with spikes and it was great. It was not great. It was not great. I watched. I've tried. No. I'm out. So, what's the solution? Do you have a pair of logging boots for when you wear spikes and those for when you don't? Maybe you wear those and you have your logging boot in the truck that you put on when you know you're going to be in spikes. But I'm not doing it. I've tried. Not a fan. You know, I haven't spent the ridiculous amount of money, but I bought an off-brand pair that wasn't crazy expensive. Probably 6 years back. Maybe it was more than that. And I didn't like it at all. Most of my stuff I'm in spikes, so it was like, but when I was limb walking, that full tread and not having that gap where the spike goes was nice. I could get a little more traction and stuff. So like I get the give take with those and the reason why you would have those, but don't try to convince me that it was enjoyable to wear when you got spikes on. So fit your stilettos great, yeah. Yeah, I bet they did. Hasn't even been freezing here yet. Oh, really? I think we were down. I don't know. We've been in the 20s and stuff, and at night. So I don't know. Also, I'm sorry. I am super sorry. Don't nobody get offended. I'm just being... Okay, let me explain a little bit of backstory before I insult everybody. When you put out videos all the time, and then you have guys that like will make crazy comments about how you should have went bigger and this and like I would have did this, I would have did this. And then when you watch them, they're rigging and they're rigging big, but they're in a bucket. Let me make this clear. The respect that I have when I see a climber rig, let's say the exact same top, I have about half the amount of like respect that you're pushing the limits with risk involved. Like a lot of guys work for somebody. They're over. I mean, if they own their company, it's a little different. If they're running the operations, their responsibilities, it becomes a little different. But of course, you can rig big when you're not attached to what you're rigging on. That takes all that risk away. So let's stop doing this thing where we like, a bucket is a bucket. If you're going to use it and be proud. Stop trying to hide the bucket in the videos because it's visible. It's like a big shadow over here, a silhouette of a big old arm with a bucket attached to the end of it, and you're trying to get me up to where I think you're... No, nope. So, if you're a bucket baby, be a proud bucket baby that day. That's all I ask. I'm not saying you can't be in a bucket, but be a proud bucket baby that day. Have a bit of honor, even though you're in an estrogen elevator. You know, this is just what I'm saying. Don't try to hide it. That means you're embarrassed. When you try to hide, everybody be trying to hide their lift, and I don't like that. Don't try to hide it from me. That makes me question everything about you. Like, so, it's cool if you rig big out of a bucket, but I question if you would do the same if you were attached to that thing. So, yeah, rant over. That's just hide the bucket. I'm serious. It's nonstop, especially YouTube Shorts. Like, it's a full video, you'll catch a glimpse of it, or maybe they'll talk about it, but in a YouTube Short, they're breaking the clip down. So the importance of letting you know that there's a lift that they're setting in, rigging off this dead tree or something like that, and I don't know. I just think it's funny, if I'm being honest. Like, I had back and forth with a couple guys, and I just had to say, I have to, so. I keep my throw line in a 5-gallon bucket. But you should. You should. That's all I really got for the PSAs this week. Be a proud bucket baby. That's it. Stop hiding it. And stop buying these expensive boots. And breaking your feet trying to climb in them. Or rubbing your shins to death. Like, I don't know. I guess if you want to be uncomfortable, you can be uncomfortable. That's not comfortable, okay? I'm getting old, grumpy, opinionated, and like, I can't be hurting my feet. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, a lot of guys, they have their shame in their bucket game. Hey, should be no shame in your bucket game. But you can't walk around like big cock of the walk, you know, when you're basically floating. All the fear of that thing breaking and you getting destroyed isn't there. So, it's not the same. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to say. It's not the same, okay? Fact. It's not the same. Alright? Now we've established this. So we can get on to our violations for the week. First, channel. Scroll on YouTube. I'm just patrolling. Guilty of treason. Puts his video up. I'm like, what's this dude doing? Alright. So, haven't put timestamps in a single video, and I pretended right now, in case he watches, because he's a member, like, I should do the timestamps. That's rude. I'm kind of a jerk. I better put the timestamps this time and tag him. So shout out to Jacob, too, for being a member. And for letting me rag on him as much as I've ragged on him, and for having a sense of humor. And not being so insecure that that's what happens. A lot of guys become insecure, and their insecurity destroys their sense of humor. So, just be a proud bucket baby when you get in that thing. That's all that matters. You should be. I'm sure that that's not a cheap truck. But I'm talking more about the guys that go work for other companies and stuff. Like, you know that they didn't buy the thing. So, like, and they want the credit of being, like, climbing. So they edit the video in that way. So, yeah, it's just... I need a bucket baby sticker. I need a bucket. So it's like... It's just what it is. Alright, guilty of treason. Put out a video called This Gigantic Maple Was Still a Risky Tree. And I think he put out part 1 and 2 this week. I'm only going to mainly focus on part 2, I do believe. Oh shit, he showed up. Dude, I told you guys don't tell him. What up, Tim? No, I wasn't gonna do it, man. I kind of just at the last second decided to not be lazy and just get out there and go get it. Yeah. It's cold out here, and my heater, I took my wood stove out, which was probably not my smartest idea because I had this little heater that was just dominated. And then the little heater it went out the other week, and yeah, so it's cold. All right, Jacob puts out this video. So Jacob's chipper, I believe in part 1 when they get there it craps out. Yeah, his chipper craps out, so he ends up borrowing Kevin's chipper in part 1. They attack this big old oak tree. Or no, it was a maple. Yeah, a big maple tree, and then he uses his bucket to do it. So, not the most entertaining video, but it was decent. In part 2, he comes back the next day. He's taking care of a lot of the main top, I believe, and some of the trunk, trying to get it down to a single stem. And it is a massive oak or maple tree. It's a big one. So part 1, he uses Kevin's chipper, which I think may have been his chipper and Randy's chipper, all like along the line. So yeah, it's crazy that's the one that keeps running. The newer stuff always craps out quicker, but uses Kevin's in part 1. So in this part, on part 2, he ends up, Randy comes to work that day, and they use Randy's chipper to do what was left for part 2. Jacob ends up having to climb, and I'm sorry, but And you guys know, I backed that ART Blackbird. I thought, that's sick. It's got a cool name. It's just like a big black hunk of metal. Looks like kind of like a boomerang or like Florida or I don't even know. It looked cool. But I'm out. I'm out. They need to work on it. They need to fix that. It just seems stupid. Jacob can't be that big. I mean, I've never ran into him in person, but he can't be that big. And that thing, like, is worn out from him using it just for a few weeks, it seems like every day for a few weeks. Because I don't know, maybe he used it way more than it showed in footage, but like it's already crapping out, it's already having to be adjusted because it slips and just drifts as he's using it. And I don't know, I just think I'm out on the ART Blackbird. I think junk. There's it may be very minor things that need to be adjusted and fixed, but something's wrong with that device. I refuse to believe that it wore out. If it wore out that fast, that's crazy. Like that's just doesn't make any sense. Something's got to be done. That can't be the case. Most important part of this book was the fact that well, right on, Hawken. Get her done, man. That is awesome. So Jacob does end up using it in this video. I just I'm not a fan anymore. I've lost interest. Like it's one of them things that's like, oh, I wish I had one of those. They're not even available here in the States. And I'm like, I wish I had one of those. I wish I had one. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't buy that. And that's what I'm saying now. It's like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't waste my money. Thank goodness it wasn't available. But yeah, the ART Blackbird, that's just my opinion. But so at one point, Jacob's climbing and he says something about spirit animals. And I was like, I'm not the guy that's like talking about vibes and stuff. I don't like that stuff. I think it's weird. I don't even like the word vibes. But Jacob says that his spirit animal is a cat, which I didn't like at first, but then it checks out because he's a puss. So I just you should get a different spirit animal. Um, and I'm starting to hear rumblings, you know, just around in conversation, on the internet and comment sections and stuff. But there's this big bet going on between Jacob and Randy. I think it's like $1,000. They're doing the carnivore diet to where you can only eat meat. Because some people are starting to say Jacob just really hates being the small guy on the crew. Because he got Aaron, Big Flav. He's like 9 foot with the deepest voice. Randy seems like a pretty big dude, and Jacob. So this is what this is a good theory. But people are saying Jacob hates being the small guy on the crew so much that he's tricked Randy into doing this diet. And Jacob is at home eating donuts every night, birthday cakes, because Randy is withering away to nothing. He like lost half his body. Like I think he's like 40 pounds down or something. And I don't know if Jacob lost any. So I feel like he's just trying to shrink him out. And I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He's got Randy down 40 pounds already. I don't know if Randy is digging it. Maybe he is. But, man, 40 pounds is a lot. That's a lot of weight to drop. I think he's trying to shrink him out. This is my opinion. He's cool. They ended that before TCIA. Really? Yeah, I'm only seeing what they're putting out, and he just said he was 40 pounds down in this video. So that's insane to me. I don't know what's going on, but he needs to get some carbs and stuff. Like this all meat diet. No, you can't be losing 40 pounds, and then how is he lose 40 pounds and Jacob didn't look like he was losing any weight? I don't know. I don't know. I'm all mixed up over it. It doesn't 40 pounds is a lot of weight to lose. That's crazy. And he's like he was climbing and getting it in like he was having issues or he was looking fat or nothing. He was like he was killing it before. Now he's 40 pounds down. I don't know. He's like all weak and can't lift the saw. He's on StemFast? Holy cow. That's crazy. It's like Slim Fast, but you drink it in a tree. I get it. I get it. What up, Walter? From Bama? How you doing? All right, so next channel is Oasis Treat. I have a video that will be going up on members where straight up investigation and on his his video he put up last week. Something about Murphy's Law or something, which I felt like he stole that from me because I just put that up and named my short that, and then he like took it from me, which I don't like that. But last week I had to hold off because I'm doing that video in a video, a full reaction video, and it'll be coming up on the members very soon. I got everything script like wrote out, so Jacob's behind the woodshed eating. I know, that's what I'm thinking, dude. That's what I'm thinking. I think he just tricked Randy, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like right now, like you could tell that they were different. Like now they're the same. Now they weigh the same. That's fishy. But Oasis Treat, he put out a video called "Oak Removal Deja Vu?" Question mark. Yep. Dot dot dot. Then a full river birch driveway trim. Dude, no. That's the lamest, most illegal, convoluted, mixed up, run on, mad. That's not even English. You threw some French. Yeah, it legit isn't English. There's like deja vu French, but I don't like this. I don't like this at all. You're YouTubing way too hard, brother. You're tubing too hard. That title sucks. I don't like that title at all. That title sucks. Oak removal deja vu? Question mark. Then all of a sudden, yep, dot dot dot. Then a full river birch driveway trim area. When you so listen, answer me this. So you wrote this title. Then you looked at it and read it back to yourself, which I think you should always do. And you said, "Yep, that's what I'm going for." As many words as I can put in a brother. No. Ooh, brother. No. I don't like it. Fix that. Don't do that again. Yeah, I just have in my notes, like, that title looks like it was wrote by a teenage girl with ADD. I don't like that title at all. It's so mixed up. Your attention like jumped from this to this. I don't like that. But in the video, I guess he's removing an oak, has porta wrap placed way too high on the tree. I don't know how you could ever pre-tension, or especially when guys use those like loopy slings or adjustable slings, and the porta wrap has all that floppy ass play in it. When you stand that porta wrap up, that's the height that a person has to get leverage to pre-tension or set the line correctly. You want the anchor as low as possible on the tree. That way you can get the best leverage on the line. So it just blows my mind when I see people have them so high. Like, you're defeating the purpose. Your ground guy is definitely going to have trouble with that. Not to mention, like, if you had to, like, take a wrap off, like, things need to be lower. You want them, like, at chest height. At worst, like, if you can get it down to hip even, you're going to get your best leverage from there. But that's why I appreciate and love the fact that I don't use a porta wrap ever. I use this, which is fixed to the tree at all times, doesn't move, doesn't have floppy play in it, isn't convoluted in the way that you set it up and use it, and doesn't cause pigtails. It's just, I'm so much more dialed in with things using such a big bollard. You know, the diameter on this, quite a bit bigger than any porta wraps, which gives you a more consistent friction and bend in the rope. And then, you know, you have your multiple spots to lock it off. I like the pens better. It's just, this is the simplest, easiest device in comparison to a porta wrap. There's no comparison. This is where it's at. I don't like porta wraps, personally. I used it forever. I even made one. Mine's, I have a homemade, like, big version of one made out of steel. And, yeah. I seen it in his video, and I'm like, man, that's rough. Like, that's sucky on the ground, guys. So. And then flop higher. Yeah, I know. Like, that's the thing. You put it up high, then let's say you drop a little bit of weight into it, and it does slide up a little bit. It is officially out of your reach now. Like, think about that. I didn't, like, yeah. Your porta wrap, your lowering device should be at as low as possible. There's no reason to have it up high. You're losing every bit of leverage. You're making everything harder on yourself. I don't know. I feel like guys, especially when they have the floppy, like, limp-dicked porta wrap setup where it's the sling that goes around and, like, part of the sling and it just flops down. So they walk up and they have, like, 3 foot of play in their porta wrap that's limp. So they put it 3 foot high because they're like, it won't touch the ground. You know, you should put it down, because the damn thing, when it gets weight into it, is going to stand up to that 3 foot. It's going to go from down here up 3 foot and then up another 3 foot, which is 6 foot. And if you're 5 foot whatever, you're kind of screwed. So a little more thought needs to be put into that. I don't know. That's just me personally, but, like, you're setting that ground guy up for failure and making things very difficult on him when you do stuff like that. So you pull everything with a 150, get her done. Been offered more booze than coffee. Come on, people. Yeah, that's the same way with me. Everybody's always trying to, want a beer? You want a beer? That's where the whiskey back behind me, all this whiskey, that's where it came from. Just people being like, do you drink? I'm like, no, not really. They're like, well, let me give you a bottle of something nice that you can take home, and when you do drink, you'll have it. Oh my God. So it's like some stupid, expensive scotch, um, then some real fancy Irish whiskey. I don't know. What's up, Outdoor? How you doing? I don't know what. I don't know what just happened there. I just got a notification, but what GP say? Never drink alcohol? That's awesome. Yeah, I don't drink. I can't. Makes my head get all stopped up. I'm doing all right. I can't complain. I'm cold as hell out here right now doing this live feed, but I had to. I feel like, dude, if I would get halfway through the time that the live feed would have been, and then I would have been like, damn it, now we got to start over. You know, you can't. I wouldn't be able to do episode 101 because I missed it. So, yeah, 101. What would be, so 54 weeks in a year? So 108. So episode 108 will be 2 years straight again. We did 2 years last time. I smoke a day though. Yeah, well, bro's a chimney. That's what he is. 52 weeks, 52, 54, right on, yeah. Okay, so around between 104 and okay. Okay, so episode 104, 105 would be like a 2 year. Damn. Okay. Cool. Well, yeah, that'll be nice. Hit that 2 year mark. Okay, so yeah, I got off track. ADD kicks in, and I'm just. So he's got the porter wrap set at the wrong height. Fix that. Don't do that again. Um, and then he calls the porter wrap a bollard. Sir. Brother. Brother. Ugh. This, brother, is a bollard, okay? This is a bollard. Okay? The thing you have is called a porter wrap. Now we've had big issues this week where I'm going to have to correct a few different people that don't know the name of the tools that they are using. This is not right. We can't have this. If you're going to use a tool, you got to know the name of it, or it's a violation. Don't talk about it. Don't point it out. Don't tell me you got it. Keep it out of the... Don't use something if you don't know the name for it. False crotch retrieval thingy. You know who I'm talking to. Tomato, potato. Okay, so what did I got? I think so. He's calling it wrong. All right, what we got? Oh, another thing. So he's making his snap cuts wrong a lot. Here's something. If you don't know this, this will get you in trouble. You will lose your chainsaw. It will get ripped out of your hands, and it will get smashed on the ground. This is a very simple thing. Now, you've got a branch, okay? This isn't a hard thing to understand. You got a branch. I should be like, so you're making your cut here on this. Okay, this is a tree. Okay, the tree goes up. It gets a little fatter down here. Okay, so you're making a snap cut. Now you make your bottom cut so that you don't end up with a peel. So you make your bottom cut, okay? Now you can get two different things to happen. If you've ever done enough snap cuts, Stop trying to call it something else too. Like, I hate Game of Trees. Kevin Ham, he likes to call it a drop cut. He's the only person in the world calling it a drop cut, and I don't like it either. But a snap cut, step cut, whatever it is you want to call it. You make your bottom cut. Then you need to make a top cut. Now, if you make your top cut here and you bypass the piece, here's your issue, is it breaks off. What's going to happen is all of this is going to break off, okay? As that breaks off, your chainsaw is now pinched in this little spot right here. When it goes, your chainsaw goes. You lose your chainsaw. You don't have your chainsaw. So, you could have kept that from happening, because when you make a snap cut, this is the danger zone right here. The piece, the point where the two cuts bypass each other. Now, you can have two different things happen. You can get your saw stuck in the piece, or if you take it off, when you go to make the cut now, you make it below it. Now when it breaks off, your saw is stuck here. The piece goes, it's now stuck in this part. As the piece goes over, it stays with this. So if you make it behind it, you've got the saw pinched in between the what's left and the piece that's taken off. I don't know why guys don't kind of get that, but no matter where you make a snap cut, how you make it, that's the danger zone. The point where the two cuts bypass each other. You can either be stuck in the bottom, the stationary piece, or you can be stuck in the moving piece, which ends up usually ripping your nice new pretty pink lanyard that goes just great with your purple akimbo and your purse. That's speaking specifically to Mr. Oasis. Yeah. So, think about that with your snap cuts, where you end up losing your chainsaw. That's just a heads up. I'm just looking out for you. I would like to say that your little Echo chainsaw sounds like complete caca. I don't like it. I think it sounds like complete shit. And you should get a Stihl or do something to make it not sound like crap. Okay? Yeah, fix it. Then what? Okay. Now, I finally figured out what the problem is. His name doesn't get said very often, so I can't remember what his name is. So I have to call him Oasis Tree, the climber. Maybe I'll figure out his name eventually, but he's got a ground guy, his name's Isaiah. And he's always kind of throwing shade at Isaiah. He's like, oh, I'm worried about a barber chair. You don't know what that is, though. And let me tell you something. He said at the end of the video, say something to Isaiah. Isaiah's cool. You can teach him what you know about tree work, but you need to ask Isaiah how to be cool. Okay? Because Isaiah's cool. Some people are cool, some people they're just not cool. Isaiah is cool. He doesn't have to be, he just is. You should ask him, you got some pointers for me to be cooler? I'm just looking out. Getting my ported 2511 and a 4200T on Wednesday. Sweet. Right on, Outdoor Galore. Have a good one, brother. Yeah, I think they. I can't remember because I'm working on the main video, so I cannot remember this video from the other one. It's like the cops just pulled up outside. That was crazy. Let me go pee. I got into it with the neighbors again because the kid like burnt down a damn house is like messing around my house, and I don't know. People are crazy. I hate living in the city. And this, I can imagine a big city. Alright, my bad. I got a couple elderly neighbors that I kind of got to keep an eye on too. Oh! Wish I had it now because I got 2 big maples to take down this week. Sweet! I'm sending my 500 out for port work soon. Sweet! Sweet. Okay. So next channel is a different one. I've talked about this channel a few times before. It's a very big channel, and usually I do smaller channels because I don't really care what you say. Either it's negative or positive. Attention's attention, and like I feel like I can give some attention to some of the smaller channels. That's why I do them a lot of times. But I don't know if you guys get pushed this guy's content as much as I do, but like the algorithm just shoves this dude's content in my face non-stop. I don't like it. But the channel's called at JCP Property Management 2 or something, and the moniker's like John Seaman. Actually, your last name is K. Sorry, but that's, you know what I mean. That's weird. That, yeah, I would ask for a different last name. I'm sorry, but um, Cajun 37, right on. But John put out a video. He's a guy that does like property development management, like I don't know, builds foundations, uh, big contract construction stuff, like, and he'll do tree work too. So the video was called "Crew Went Rogue from the Plan / We Drop a Tree with Inches to Spare." I know you don't do tree tube much, but that's a sucky title. You should do better. His channel's huge though. But the video starts and like, I'm sorry. When you tell me you're lame right from the get-go, show me your Lambo. Brother, that, I'm sorry. That's not gonna, I don't, do other people see that and be like, that's a cool dude? Because I seen it and I'm like, oh, dude, really? You don't have anything but, really? I don't know, but he's got a Lambo. Just seems like he's one of them I know everything kind of people. Like a jack of all trades, but a master of none. And he does his self-help stuff where he's like tells people how to live their life and like sells courses, and he's just got the gift of gab basically. And some people are very vulnerable to those type of personalities. But he's one of those guys that acts like he does everything on the job site, but he's basically like a glorified supervisor. But I have seen him climb a tree. And when it comes time to run a chainsaw, he's ready to run the chainsaw. But they do stuff so dodgy. And it's just an accident waiting to happen. Dropping trees, next to the house with a backhoe that only goes up a few feet and expecting it to push these leaning trees, like some crazy, crazy stuff over there. And it's really, really hard to watch. But he seems like the type of guy that he's got way, way too many things going on. So it seems like he's always bitching at his employees because they're not where he wanted them to be. This dude is a scatterbrain. It's hard to like keep up with, have context with anything he says because all day long he's on his cell phone being like, tell that to go here. At 7:30. Yeah, do that. And then telling this person that his brain, my brain would be fried trying to think about all. Maybe he can do it, but he just seems like he has too many things going on, and then he'll blame a guy when things gets mixed up instead of being like, yeah, my bad, I took on too much stuff. He's your typical like meathead fancy boy. But in this video in particular, he lets you in on his pricing for these trees. And he's one of them $500 for any tree kind of guys. I just hate it. I hate it so much. Like 500 no tree too big or too small. We do them all. Call Betty's Bucket Baby Service or I don't even know. But yeah, it's funny to watch somebody that knows nothing about tree work sit there and sell a bill of goods to a customer that is complete shit. And not only are they doing this, they're recording it. And are confident enough in what they're saying that the people buy it. But at one point he's talking about the cambium layer on a tree. And he's like, yeah, them oaks are just trash, or those maples are just trash anyway. They go hollow in the inside, and the whole water in the asylum of the tree, the part behind the bark, the asylum, it was gone. It was just gone. I know there was a few sucker leaves and stuff, and some little green stuff growing. A tree can be 80% hollow and still be technically healthy. So he's just got the gift of gab, and it's funny to see him sell tree work to random people when he doesn't know anything about it. Really, it doesn't seem like. And then you get to see his pricing, and I don't even see how he could pay his overhead with the amount of stuff he's got going on and his pricing. But yeah, if you get a chance, check it out. It's like it's like GCP Property Management. And the dude is John Seaman. So I'm still out on that last name. I don't like it. Next is Buckin' Billy Ray Smith. The video was "What an honor!" exclamation point. A very special chainsaw. So he's on this little crusade to get Husqvarna to work with him. So he's like really, really sucking them off and like glazing them. That's all he wants to talk about right now is Husqvarna this and Husqvarna that. Seen the channel? Did you? Yeah. I know YouTube just constantly shoves his content into my algorithm. It drives me nuts. But so in this video, Buckin is grinding some chain, and that's his thing. He's a real stickler when it comes to the way your chain is filed or ground, and he's letting everybody know while he's using his Symington grinder that to not worry if you start grinding on the link. He says that doesn't matter. And I beg to differ. If you grind where the links connect, something could happen. It can break. So I don't know. He says some wild stuff sometimes. And I feel like he would, if he thought about it for a second, he would, that's not what he should say. Like he's grinding chain, and then randomly he gets into talking about people that cuss. And he calls them weirdos. He's like talking about how he's trying to get companies to do partnerships with, but he's like, I'm not a guy that does partnerships. I can't be bought. Mom, I'm different. I'm different. You guys know I don't do partnerships. But that's why I conduct myself the way I do. If what if I was one of those weirdos cussing? Listen, Mr. High and Mighty, Mr. Holier Than Thou, Mr. Perfect. A person doesn't then become a weirdo because they said a cuss word. That makes you're just kind of a dick. You're just judging people to judge them. That's crazy to be like, if you cuss, you're a weirdo. I don't think it's kind to be judging people all the time and label them as weirdos because they said a curse word. That is weird. So, Mr. I can't be bought, I have too much honor, then takes his attention to his Arbtech pants he has on. And you see discount code Buckin10 for Arbtech pants. What the hell is going on here? Brother, you can't sit there and talk nonstop about how you can't be bought. You're not the type of guy that does partnerships. You have too much honor. This is crazy. That, like, how narcissistic and, like, delusional you have to be to say this shit. But he says, discount code Buckin10 for Arbtech pants, the greatest pants in the world, yada, 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 yada. You're weird. Then he switches his attention after saying, I can't be bought. I have too much honor. And he's got this bar that someone gave him when he was at TCI Expo. And he's looking at the bar and he's going to put it on a chainsaw. And of course, I expected this. This complete tool that has the worst case of main character syndrome I've ever seen in a human being says, why do I like my logo so much, Luke? Because he's got Luke, filming for him. He says, why do I like my logo so much? Because you're a narcissist. To you, anything that involves you or is about you is better than anything else. That's a crazy thing to say. And again, Mr. I don't do partnerships is doing some kind of side partnership with this bar company to where he's giving them attention and trying it out and gonna use his platform and his loyal fan base and supporters to sell another product. But, I can't be bought. I have too much honor. Then he'll fixate hard on a saying. I personally think the reason that this gets done a lot of times is because it's for money. It's a t-shirt he's looking to sell. He wants to have another saying on a t-shirt where he can sell the shirt, he can make some money. So there for the longest time it was be kind or get the gullet, or it's always a couple word little phrase fits good on a t-shirt. They got a new one that I called out a lot, like months ago, and was like, he only keeps saying that because he's trying to make a new t-shirt. All of a sudden, the new shirt came out. And he's been doing one recently, which is work on a pull-and chain. Another blade salesman, yeah. He says, work on a pulling chain. He says, do not backbar. Backbarring is bad. Don't use backbarring. It's unsafe. Yada, 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 yada. Well, he came down here to the States and has been putting out footage from that for a while where he did a little bit of logging. And when you take him out of his normal, comfy area and he just goes on motor skills, muscle memory, and what works best at the time, he backbarred almost every single tree that he put out. Almost every single tree in the past 5 or 6 videos that, or maybe it was 4 or 5 videos, where he was logging here in the States with a buddy. He used backbar on almost every single tree. After spending weeks and months telling people backbarring is bad, don't use it, it's bad practice, it's unsafe, it's this, it's this, it's this, never do it, work on a pulling chain, he just gets fixated on these weird little sayings. But then totally contradicts himself, and I'm telling you, he backbarred on almost every single tree he cut down. Which, to me, I'm just taking notes of like, I want him to be a good dude, but some of his actions, compared to what he says, they don't line up. I think people think I want Bucking to not be as good as he comes off. No, I would. That's awesome. I think being nice to people, be kind to people, treat people the way you want to be treated, have some manners, carry yourself with a little bit of respect, and you know, have some class to you, is so important. But I'm the type of guy, I more take down my opinion and collect data on what you do. Because you can say anything you want. But when you do stuff, that's where it tells me the truth. Because doing is hard to lie. Like, it's, you know, it's easy to just sit here and talk and tell a lie. But at the end of that video, he says, I need you all to know that I'm not for sale. He goes back, he's back on this, I'm not for sale. He says, I have integrity. He says he loves himself too much to do partnerships. He loves himself too much to do partnerships. It's not about he doesn't want to rip you guys off. He doesn't want to lead you down the wrong path or sell you and waste your hard money on a product that isn't worth a damn. It's more about he loves himself too much, has too much integrity, and cannot be bought by these partnerships. Excuse me, sir. Let me hit this real quick right here. And just off the top of my head, DGP Oil, Arbortech, in this video, the new bar company that's making your blades for you. The blade didn't even look sharp either. But yeah. Ripsaw, White's Boots. This is current. I'm not going to do all the ones that partnerships that he did with other companies and got all of his followers to buy products and stuff, and then now says that those are trash. There's videos on memberships now about that. This is crazy. How can you... Dude, do you not realize that your actions are recorded and documented and are very easy to see? You can't say that you can't be bought, you have too much integrity, and you love yourself too much to do partnerships when you are currently in partnerships with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just from what I know and what you've shown on the video, I'm seeing like 5 different companies. Just because the company's not writing you a fat check at all times and sending it to you, you are in a partnership and are being paid, whether it be by product, by money, or by advertising, like whatever it is. There's different ways to get your worth out or get compensated. So the shady way of lying to people when you have a list of partners that you're partnered up with. You make sure that before you go into anything that you tell people about how high your integrity is and how much love you have for yourself. It's insane to me. He says he can't be bought. And my opinion is that he can be bought. He has been bought more than once. And you're looking like a hooker to me. This is just my opinion. But you're coming off like a bit of a hooker. Because you've been bought before. You're being bought now. But you got the audacity to look everyone, all your followers, all your support, and tell them you can't be. You can't be. It's just not possible. This is just my opinion, but I go off action. So, I mean, you can have your own opinion about the situation. It's just, I find it to be a bit lame, so. He's a bit of a sellout, yep. Just because he's very opinionated about certain things doesn't mean that he can't be like, just because he's like, okay, I just want you to think about the fact that he will continuously sell you on the fact that he is a poor man too. This is one of the big ones that really gets to me. He's going to sell you on the fact that he's a simple poor man. You know, struggling to get by like everybody, when his support system from what he does in his community it may be one of the most supportive communities I've ever seen on the internet. And he should be proud and like grateful to those people, and this trying to pretend like you're something else because I don't know. I don't know. I have my opinion. I just want people to realize, like, just because someone sells you on the type of person they are on the internet, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are that type of person. There's a reason there's the saying, never meet your idols. Because you can be disappointed. You start to develop an opinion and a character in your brain and put these people on a pedestal, and then they just bomb you out, and they're not what you thought, and that's sucky. But you know, shout out to him. Hopefully he just keeps doing his thing. I just don't like the pretend weird stuff where you're doing one thing. The hypocritical stuff really gets me. It really gets me, you know. So that's it for him. Next channel is Veterans Tree Service. Or hang on, Veteran Tree Service. Sometimes I put an S on the end. Veteran Tree Service. That's Tim. The video's massive tree removal hanging directly over the house. There's a limited drop zone on this tree, but see, here's where it doesn't make, it's not that big of a deal. When you climb these little trees that are like straight little stick poles, that just are straight up, they just got little stickies on them, little sticks all the way around. When they're straight like that, you don't need a big drop zone. You don't have this wide spreading canopy. You got this little stick, you go straight up. It's got little suckers hanging off sides of it. You gotta trim off. But like, you don't need a big drop zone when you do these kind of trees. Also, soulmates are for pussies. I think you should just hold your chainsaw, or do like a normal tree dude and set it down on the ground and run it over. I don't like soulmates. I think I don't like them. But Tim's trying to get you to buy some soulmates or something, And then he's got to also let you know that he's got a special one that you can't get. I don't like that either. I don't like that. Do like a normal tree dude. Put it on the ground behind the tire and just do like a normal person. Don't use the soulmate. I don't like that. Okay, so soulmates. Oh, then Tim's like he's like, oh yeah, he gets he gets into the monkey beaver saddle and he's like, this thing is too heavy and it's uncomfortable. And I'm like, dang, dude, that's crazy. I was like, maybe he's gonna say something else about it. Everyone else says it's the greatest saddle ever, it's the best. He's like, this thing is heavy and it's uncomfortable, but I have to wear it sometimes because I spent the money on it. I think that's what he said. He said something like that. That's pretty much almost exactly kind of close to what he said. But yeah, I couldn't believe he said that. I was like, August ain't gonna like that. But he also said something about his basically, yeah. Uh yeah. Damn it, I'm like, yeah, he says something about his spikes being dirty. And he says something stupid. Something stupid. He says like, it's because I climb a lot. This is what gear looks like when you climb a lot. No, you lazy ass. How about you clean that shit off, pudding, before you put it back up? What are you doing? What are you doing? You put your stuff away dirty like that? I question how you wipe. I feel like you're like, oh, I'll take a shower later, and just like half-ass things. You clean that before you put it up. I don't like that. Don't try to talk like my stuff's dirtier than yours, so I do. No, your stuff's dirty because you're lazy. You need to start cleaning that shit. This facts. It's a shame. He bought these new gay boots. I'm sorry. He bought these very colorful boots. Um, he bought he's new fruit boot goofing, and I'm like, what is new fruit boot goofing? He bought some new boots that look like a damn high-vis vest on his feet. I don't know what's going on with them. Probably cost a stupid amount of money. They got the same tread as my house shoes, my slippers. I don't even know why. There's no heel. I don't even know how he is going to do like spikes. But he bought Power Ranger boots, a Red Ranger, I believe, to be like everybody else. He's like, what the hell? When did everybody else start wearing these new? When did everybody start new fruit boot goofing? And he's like, I gotta get some. I gotta buy some of them pruning boots. So he bought some. They showed them. I didn't like them. I don't like them. Get a real boot. Get a real boot. Yeah, I think you should get. Here's a little tip for anybody that like wears a logging boot. I don't know how you tie your boots up, or if you've ever had an issue. I tie all my shoes like this now, with your stuff coming untied. But this will never come untied if you do like normal. Tie your shoes. I'll teach you how to tie your shoes. You do that. You make your little bunny ear. You go around once and you would tie it. Well, instead of going around just once, you go around twice. 1, 2. Then you put it in. No diddy. Or pause. I don't know what the kids say. It's one of those. So now it's got the double bite there on it. And you can untie it just like any other, like your normal shoe. But I promise you that this will not come untied until you really, you got to really pull on it to get it to untie. So if you ever have issues with your stuff coming untied and stuff like that, double around than do it. I think all men should be able to take a bit of razzing. I think that's what's missing with a lot of men now. We can't be too soft. Tin Man does seem like a good human, though. He does. Some people give you that vibe. So, alright, where was I at? Yeah, he's got Power Ranger boots. Oh yeah, I know why. Now I know why I showed. The boots he got Velcro boots because he don't know how to tie his shoes. So I think the boot, they may have been, I think they were Velcro. So because he can't tie his shoes, that's why I was going to show how to tie that, because I know if Tim knows how to tie his shoes yet. But that was for Tim. At one point he starts engagement farming, and I don't like this at all. He just turns into a little soy boy, and he's like, hey, and all you guys out there that have channels, put your channel name in the comment section so that I get more comments and get paid. I don't like that. I don't like that. Engagement farming. Nope, you're tubing too hard. I caught you. Yep. I was going to put my channel down, though. But then I was like, no, he'll get paid for that. I'm not doing it. No. But, yeah, I caught him engagement farming. So he doesn't know the name of the gear he's using. This is what we talked about earlier. He calls it that adjustable thingy. The adjustable thingy that he talks about is actually called a friction saver or a cambium saver. He sucks at traversing. He uses the gree wrong. Where he's like having to pull his slack out instead of it's just wrong. He finally is starting to realize the benefits of having a sewn eye in your rope. What else? Yeah, he had to cover up the skylight because he just keeps destroying the house. He could drop stuff all over the house the whole time. He just don't care, and he's like, cover that window because I don't want to break that. And I'm like, why do you need to cover that window? And he's like, because I drop stuff all over the house. I don't want to break it. Okay. So he covered a window. He's got this little non-binary saw that he uses, but he loves that saw, though. I don't like it. I don't like that saw. Talks about Randy and said that Randy and Jake were discussing the bowling with the Yosemite finish, made popular by Kevin Ham, which was enough reason for me to never use it because of that. I'm never going to use that because of that. But he's like, Randy was talking about it, and then it's like, does anybody use this? And he's like, Tim does. He's like, Tim uses it. And Tim said he likes it. And I don't know. You want to know, this is the truth. So Tim uses the bowling with the Yosemite finish because that's what he knows. And until he takes a little bit of time and he learns the better knots, he'll continue to use the bowling with the Yosemite finish until he figures out the double fist a man is better. You know, he ain't ever fisted a man before, especially doubling it. So it's like, as soon as he figures out what works better, he's just a rookie. He's a rookie. You guys got to you have to remember this. You have to take this into account when you're watching and listening to him and stuff. He's up in the tree It's like a rainy day. And he says, when I started, I wondered if you could actually use ropes when they're wet. And he says, they're absolutely fine. There's no issue. It's just they're heavy. No, sir. That is not correct. That's not facts. I'm going to have to hit you in the face with a little bit of facts right now. Ropes lose strength and performance when wet because water acts as a lubricant, swelling and reducing the rope's ability to stretch and absorb energy. They are heavier because of the added weight from the water and everything, and become less elastic, which can result in a harder, more forceful, and dangerous fall because the force is being directly transferred into the load instead of there being some stretch into the rope like there would normally be, the elasticity to take that in. He's wrong. I just wanted to point out that he is wrong. Me and ChatGPT basically tag teamed this and just wanted to say, you're wrong. That's not right. Dude, it's facts. It's facts. It's not something that's been discussed on the internet and there's difference of opinion. It's straight facts. This is just, it is. Trust me. I wouldn't lead you wrong. So they said in one of them that a wet rope can have strength reduced by up to 70% in some cases with some ropes. In some areas. With some people at some times. But I just want to say his new boots suck. He tried to act like they were good at the end, and he's like, no, I don't want to say that I love them or I don't like them right now because I'm just my first day. So then the second day comes, and his feet are so sore from these boots that he can't even climb. He comes back to work, he can barely walk. You guys see this video. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go see it. His feet is all messed up. He's like, I can't. He may have been still wearing them boots. I can't remember. But he's like, my feet hurt too bad. I can't climb today. So the ground guys had to climb. And Tim, he was like, I'll stay on the ground and play with wood. It's his favorite. It's his favorite thing to do. So he was all stoked about that, which made his feet hurt less because he was thinking about the joy of the wood play and stuff. So like he was keeping his mind off of it, so he didn't talk about it a whole lot in the video. You basically probably should have to watch it. Yeah, it's just you have to watch it just to understand fully. So I think at one point, I don't know how, there was like somebody set him up in the tree. I feel like he didn't even climb up there, but all of a sudden it clipped and he's at the top of the tree. I feel like I think it's AI. I think it may be AI. But he cuts a few pieces of wood and then he comes down. And this is where something happens that I hated. I don't like this at all, and I don't want this to ever happen again. So he's at the end of his rope. He's getting down. He's right at the bottom of the tree. And he makes his ground guy, Jake, blow him while he sits there with his legs spread eagle. I don't like this at all. I didn't like watching this. I felt bad for Jacob. I don't think he should have to do that. I think you kind of disrespect him when you want spread eagle at him like that. I would have thrown the blower into your crotch, but apparently Jake's a nice guy and he did it anyway. I think you should have some more respect for him though. He seems like an okay guy. What else? Oh, and at the end of the video, okay, remember the title, super sketchy, dangerous tree with no drop zone hanging over $1 million home. I think it was something like that. He says at the end of the video, he's like, it was just a basic, simple, easy little tree. And so he tells the truth at the end. Here's the thing that I don't like. He tells the truth at the end of the video. He says, super easy. Um, my feet hurt. It's basic, I think, was the. Don't quote. I may have mixed. Maybe I may be missing a context word or something like that. But it's pretty much word for word, I think. That's all I got for Tim. Rion Rounds put out a video. Another breakdown, question mark, exclamation point. Tree still comes down. He uses the Merlot. It has another breakdown with fuel filter messed up. They get a service drop, which I guess if you need it, like if you can't, if you can't hang and you gotta have a service drop, cool. I just have too much pride to be calling for a service drop. It's a service. It's a service line. Work over it. But he gets a service drop. Says like this is the first time in forever. Then he shows a clip from a job he did 10 years ago when he used to make entertaining content and everything he does wasn't absolutely 100% mechanized to the point that he no longer gets exercise and has to go to the gym on his time off. This is what I'm saying. You guys can't mechanize everything to the point that you're forced to go to the gym on your time off. You worked at the gym until you made it all mechanized. Now you're like sitting down doing nothing. And you're like, I gotta go get some exercise. You shouldn't have to go get no exercise. You do tree work. But yeah, that was this video he put out. Then Buckin. Oh yeah, and then the next channel is Buckin. I Can Be Bought Billy Ray. I think he changed his name. Put out the Husqvarna 5 Series saws are bonkers. It's just a glaze fest of him giving a knob job to Husqvarna and begging them to do a partnership with him. Um, I would like to say, if Husqvarna saws are so good, why you need to port it when you get it? Why you need to go spend double the amount on the saw to go have it worked on when you get it if it's so good? I don't even know. I don't own a ported chainsaw. None of my chainsaws are ported. And my blades are sharper than anybody's. My blades go right through it. I think y'all maybe you're just not using the chainsaw right. Maybe your blade must be, I don't know. Maybe your blade's dull. But I don't need no port job or nothing, so. Never snapped a rope. That's because you do those little skinny, the little trees, little twiggies. I mean, of course, if you're just always rigging down little like epicormic growth all the time, you're not gonna break. You're not gonna break a rope, brother. You're just not. You got those little epicormic, like little floaties. But I think that's all I got. Let's just talk to you guys for a little bit. Who do you guys think sucks? You guys got anybody you want to say that sucks? I've been talking about sucky people for. Get it out. This is where you get it out at. But I don't think I have it anymore. Let's see. I think I made it through everybody. It was a little weak this week. There wasn't a whole lot of videos being put out. And that's probably because Thanksgiving. Did everybody have a good Thanksgiving? I should have asked that from the get-go. It's kind of rude. Yeah, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I'm still eating leftovers. So. Who's the goofy firefighter? Oh, shoot. Damn. Holy hell. Yeah, I absolutely, damn. You know what? I forgot that video. Holy shit, Climber Drew. Damn it. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Climber Drew, I'm also going to do a review on his video on members. So, shout out to Timber Slasher for joining members. And thank you to everybody who's been a member and keeps being a member. I'm going to put out both of those videos on members. So I have Oasis Trees that I'm working on now. And then after that, I will do Climber Drew, because that video, I think that's kind of what I decided. I got to it and I was like, maybe I should do this one a full review, because the whole video was just, what about Big Boom Baby? I had to get, dude, I couldn't watch his shit. He got on my nerves so much. He's such a tool that, like, I couldn't. I had to take a break. I don't know, he gaslighting his people, like, moving the goalpost, changing my words around, but not giving me credit. He's like, commenters, but put my name up there. Put my comment up there so I can laugh when I see it. But, yeah, I don't know. He's just a, I think he said Big Boom Baby? I thought he said Big Dumb Baby. Or Big Bum Baby or something. I don't know. I can't keep up with it. He's giving away chainsaws now and telling you gotta like, comment, subscribe, and tag 25 people. Tell me your mother's maiden name, and dude, you can shut up and go back to Instagram with that shit. I don't like that. So to be eligible, you have to do this, and this, and donate to my Cash App. Like, I don't know. Victorious Victor, what's up? I suck. I like that. Hey, do you know what? There's nothing wrong. You come in like that, and then people are like, oh, that dude's not the greatest. Dude, from I suck, you got nowhere to go but up, brother. It's always progress. You're always getting better. That's how you walk into a place sucking, and you'll leave out. As long as you ain't sucking when you leave out, hey, you bettered yourself. Think about that. I told you I thought it's son of a bitch. That's pretty funny. I like that. You thought it was BBRs? That's hilarious. There's a few different BBR videos on members. Plus, I can say as I please and do things that I can't do on the regular channel and get flagged and stuff with the members, which is nice. I try to watch, shit. I try to watch different channels, but when people don't talk, I get bored. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes, I think you're right, Tim. It has basically moved to that, to where if you don't, the voiceover is almost so necessary that if you're not doing it, you tend to lose people's attention. But I'm okay with, like, losing the TikTok minded people's attention. I'm sorry. What up, tree fella? I seen you earlier. I just forgot to say something. I was going to, and then my brain shut off onto something else. But yeah, I'm okay with like Big Boom Baby not being here. That's a 70-year-old man with a full white gray beard on TikTok. I just, brother, have some respect for yourself. Men, I didn't even know they let men on TikTok. I'm gonna be straight with you. I didn't know nothing about that. I thought that was for girls. I thought TikTok was for girls. And and then whatever the gender stuff, like, it just is okay over there, I think. But that's what I thought. I didn't even know men could do I didn't even know men could TikTok. I didn't. No one told me. Yeah, happy holidays to you, brother. Hopefully you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. I have to keep myself entertained. Tree work is too easy. Facts. Facts. Anyone can do it. Facts. If and only if you got a sharp blade. Like, that's the key to tree work. I don't think most people realize this. You know, there's a billion how-to videos out there on the internet, but the truth of the matter is, tree work is exactly like Tim said. It's too easy. If you got a super sharp blade on your chainsaw and at least like a 20-foot ladder, I mean, you got a tree business. I don't know how it is where you're at, but where I'm at, as long as you have a pickup truck, a chainsaw with a sharp blade, and then the blade part is super important. That's why I keep bringing it up so much. You got a tree service. So. I find a way to make it super difficult. A 40 saddle and bolt. That's a hey. I'm gonna tell you right now. That is a big boom, baby. I'm gonna. What if I should steal his saying? What if I started saying that, and I'm gonna start saying that. I'm gonna steal it from him. That's a little boom, baby. That's what I'm gonna do. That's a little boom, baby. Sounds better anyway, doesn't it? Yeah, dude. I just seen. I think one of your posts. Maybe it was on IG, and I liked it. And if I didn't, I accidentally double tapped it. I think I liked it. I tried to. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked, dude. I gotta see some demos with it being used. I want to see. I want to see how it gets used. So it's a it's a commitment thing that I just don't know if I want to get into or not. I'm on the fence. Um, I have been able to do so much with the CMI rope jack and the bollard that and it's so quick. When I finally figured out how the CMI rope jack attaches to the bollard and how to attach it to the rope and then get it off with tension, dude, it's so quick, so effective. Like, it's pretty easy, especially if I know I'm going to be doing lifting. The main redirect where I spread the load throughout the tree, I'll always slap like the pulley there to give it that little bit of initial mechanical advantage as I'm using the CMI rope jack. But I mean, even with rings, in the last video that I put out on members, I hung that big ass chunk of that pecan tree, which it didn't look that big in the video. I mean, that's the nature to it. But yeah, I pre-tensioned that up crazy hard with the CMI rope jack. I've used it. I got to get to where Jake is really good at connecting it and taking it off. And so I started with yeah. Yeah, you gotta start somewhere though. I mean, Saddle Tree Care posted a really good video today. Yeah, I don't know if I think my issue with his content is it's too business oriented. It needs to be a little more personalized. It's too business oriented. It's like if you asked a business owner to make a video. That's where I think his disconnect is with people. I know it's a big fancy business. The name deserves respect in itself, and the operation is insanely big and probably extremely effective. there's no personal aspect to it. It's very bland and business oriented. And I think that's where the attention, he isn't grabbing the attention from the viewer. So I think everybody should go over and check out Seattle Tree Care. Their operation is insane. Peter seems like just a straight up good human, and they do some pretty wild trees. So yeah, I seen that. I just don't understand where the disconnect is with the audience and his channel. I know that he hasn't been the most consistent, but neither was Rion. Rion didn't even post videos and was growing his channel. There's something there, and it's maybe too focused in on the actual business aspect of what he's doing at the time. So I think maybe there's a market for it out there. Maybe it'll move more in that direction. I think he's doing something. It's different though. It is different, and I think that differentness is like maybe what's keeping it from catching on with this TikTok minded crowd that's out there now. So who's looking forward to the ISC device? I'm trying to think of what. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Where they just put a cam into the zigzag. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I think personally, I believe the Gree didn't get the attention and respect that it deserved when it was initially brought into the market, and everyone moved so far in the other direction that it sat there for years and years and years and was used in rock climbing and stuff. And then now people are starting to see the effectiveness of using a loaded cam and a friction device for climbing. So it's been kind of neat to see. Yeah, right on, Ethan. I would love to see some. I would love to see some content on it. I think it looks very. It just looks awesome and streamlined to be able to use if you can use it, you know, in SRT the way it looks. I really like the way it looks. You really like the Akimbo too. The purple color brings out the color of his eyes. It matched his top. Rope sensitive. Doesn't do great on a few different ropes. Gotta find one that works for you. Now have a good feeling about it, Tim says. Oh, the ISC device. I got some credit at Zero Tree. The ISC. Oh, sick. That's awesome. So you're Akimbo too, if they're either one. Right on. If you get the Akimbo 2, for God's sake, ask them to give you one that's not purple. So that I can see it and think it's cool. That was my thoughts on it. Is that the links are gonna, I think you're right, Ground Powder. That was my fear of the devices, that those links are gonna wear really quick. But the thing about the loaded cam is it is doing that below those links, which is the weight gets distributed from below up to travel the rope. It can work and be as effective as putting the artificial bend in the rope, like a rope wrench does, above the device. So it not necessarily, because if you start to think about it, your weight is being held from the bottom of that device up the device. So having the loaded cam at the base of the device and then going into the links may make it so that it's more dialed in and can be so finely tuned and should work, because using a loaded cam, it pinches the rope in the device and your weight causes the friction, so you actually release that friction by unloading the cam, So it gets jumpy if you're just using a loaded cam. That's why the Gree isn't the best for like for doing like a long descent or something. It can get jumpy. Doesn't work the best like initially because you're having to unpinch the rope into that system with like the lever. But yeah, I see what you're talking about, but at the same time, I see why it should work too. Rope Pro is being discontinued. That's just so they can get you to buy one of the other ones. Try one on your grapple. They say the Gree is not for arborists and more for recreation, but I think I'm going to try one on my grapple. It is my favorite secondary device. Like, it's not a main device, definitely not. But my thing was when SRT was starting to come around, they were selling that device as a primary device in an SRT setup. That's how I bought it from Petzl with a foot loop, hand ascender, pulley, and you can run a 3-to-1 with a foot loop, and it's one of the easiest rope walking setups that there is. But as soon as I tried to use it and come down, I started to realize the craziness that happens when you're trying to unload a cam, and I didn't like it. So I got really nervous with it, and I started to use it in other ways because I'd already bought it. I moved to a rope wrench, and then I really started to see like, oh, this thing, it has no setback. It's like the setback is like this, because that's the cam engages instantly and mashes the rope in there. Goes at a good bend. I don't really like the plastic handle that releases stuff, but like on a grapple, such a good device. It can be used as like a secondary lanyard on a massive tree. It works really good. On spar work, I use it because, like I said, the device can be all the way at the tree. You can, it's compact. It's only about this big when it's fully engaged. So a rope wrench with a zigzag is like this. So as tight as you get that device all the way up to where it cinches, you're still that far away from the trunk. With the Gree, where it cinches your rope up, you can get that pulled all the way up to where your hips are all the way at the tree. So it's really hard to find a device that is better for spar work, in my opinion. And that's why I find myself using the tail of my rope always when I'm doing spar work, and I will use the Gree off my tail for a secondary on spar work, and it's just it's so incredibly comfortable. It works so perfect for that. But grapple hook too, it's really, really good for that, especially if you set up your grapple hook with a hand ascender into a 3-to-1, then you're pulling down on the rope and you're pulling yourself towards the tree instead of having to pull the rope the direction you're going, which is counterintuitive. I don't know why my phone always does that disconnect right. It's right. Oh, what up, Daniel? Sit around the bonfire? Brother, it's too damn cold to be sitting. Well, I guess the fire's warm. I wish I had a fire right now. I was looking up bucket truck videos, and of course, Murphy showed up. I watched it too. Dude, the Murph dog, I don't care what anybody says. You can say you haven't, if you're watching tree videos, you've seen the Murph dog. He is OG. This is just facts. I don't care if you don't like it. Yeah. That's what's up though. Oh, Long's Quest. I was gonna not do the live actually, and I ended up not even setting it up like I normally do, because normally I would set it up ahead of time and set it for a time, and then you guys would know. And I knew it would have an effect this week if I just randomly went live, but I had kind of decided not to do it. And then I was sitting inside, and I'm like, it's too cold outside. I don't want to go out there and sit. yada yada, big crybaby story that I told about not having a heater, and I'm cold and I'm old, but I'm super young and hip and cool. So yeah, I did it though. Yeah, we win anyway. Showing how to rig and not hit your bucket. Facts. The Murph dog has done it all though. That's why well, I feel like you either, when you've done something so long, you've ran through mishaps and mistakes and learned lessons, and when you're learning all that and going through all that before the internet was here, things were for sure different. Like when I seen the internet, like I'm nearly a decade into climbing. Well, more than that actually. Yeah, I'm over a decade into climbing, and then I'm like, oh, the internet, cool, and then I'm like, oh, y'all wear hard hats? What? No one told me. So having the internet definitely can. It's it's helpful. It's definitely helpful. And if you're a curious person, you can use the internet to keep yourself from making a lot of silly mistakes along the way, and you let other people have the mishap while you learn the lesson along with them, which is nice. You're looking at that Turex. Is that the one that was on the bed and had the spider lift one? Or was it the truck? That one that was on that little flatbed with the long ass legs was crazy. I have Alltech currently. When I worked on transmission line, the 65-foot high Rangers would it chooses top of 85-foot pole, but 10-foot was a full. Dang. Except for it's all bones. This Turex is an elevator truck. Okay, rear mount. I would guess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 65 means 70 if you stand on the edge of the bucket. Yeah, facts. The lift is 69, so give you a 65. We'll give you a 60. I want to rear mount, yes. Yeah, that rear mount situation definitely be nice. I started to think about that. I had never thought about that personally until I got to thinking about those rear mounts that got continuous rotation too. When I used that one green nifty, it they would back it up and point the ass end at the tree. The problem with that is that the rotation would go. The basket is upward, so when you got lifted out, that was the end of your 180 turn. Is like all the way at the tree. You could do a 360 and go all the way back this way, but they seem to set it up always wrong instead of forward, because the way the lift looks when it's compacted down, it looks like it would be directed from the ass end, but you would want to point it at what you're going to do so that you got full rotation and movement. You're not fighting that stopping point repeatedly on every 360-degree turn. It ended up just being a headache. So yeah, elevator would be nice. That would be nice to just have it there, not have to use it or deal with the shakiness of it, but have it when needed and just get that extra. I know 70 don't know 60. Facts. Gotta delete them. Well, did did you get rid of a chipper? Did you get rid of one of your chippers? Grout powder? I was talking with somebody about it. Would you? I think maybe you headed down to go see Dano. Sweet, that's sick. Right on. That's a hell of a brother. That's dude. I dig it. That's awesome. 145 footer with a 3-strand. Oh my lord. That just sounds ridiculous. I've been in a 65-foot Bill Jacks, and depending on how old, which old one I got into, I got into some really old ones. The sway and play in that machine was insane. Just simply, if you would make a cut, and it was like, to the point if you got motion sickness, you couldn't even be in that thing. So. Old chipper and old dump truck. That's awesome. That's still going though, dude. Save your money and buy a grapple truck. I have zero use for a grapple truck. What is the situation where you're at, Ground Pounder? Is a lot of people just keep the firewood? I mean, it's cold where you're at, so I would imagine they probably would, but he said, whatever, GP. It's a hit and miss. Yeah. Yeah, I still have a good bundle of oak logs that I hauled off and kept them, and I was collecting them and getting them together, and they're just sitting there rotting now. Like, they're still solid and still good. They haven't started to rot yet, but it's just a bummer. I had plans on getting enough of them together and taking them in, and I made that log arch for my trailer, and that was basically that was the YouTuber coming out in me. And I'm like, can I load logs into this trailer with this winch that I bought? I bought a winch, I bought a manual crane that goes on a truck. I mounted it to the front of my trailer so that it can be swung around and things can be dragged to the trailer. Then I made my version of a log arch, which is a square thing that attaches to the ass end of the trailer. And I welded a metal plate on the back of the trailer, and then I could get the logs, drag them all the way up to the trailer, and then take the winch, attach it to the square framing at the ass end of the trailer that's got a little pulley, and lift the log up onto the trailer. And then I could take it off that pulley, and then it would pull it the rest of the way in. That was back in the 80s. Yeah, facts. He just starts laughing. Jeez, dude. Yeah, hell with all that. Well, guys, yeah, I think I'm done for the night. I am frozen solid right now. I can't feel my fingers. I'm only smoking cigarettes so I can keep my hands warm by the coal. Um, yeah, I gotta get going. Ground Pounder, thanks for holding down the law, brother, as always, in the comment section. Guys, thank you all for hanging out. Timber Slasher, appreciate you for joining members. Guys, members are always there. I think it's $4.99 a month. Everything that I post is on there and is not monetized, so you get it with no ads. I got a couple new videos that are investigation videos that I will be doing that are coming up very soon. And maybe I'll try to squeak a little one out for the regular channel too. It's just I've been busy. So thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Stay safe next week. And as always, if I can help you, I'm always here. See ya.